All right, we're recording. Welcome to Director Bound Week 3 on host coaching. And I'm going to try to get you guys' my things shared quick here. All right, share. All right, can you see this page now, guys?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Director Bound coaching hosts for bigger shows. Bigger shows equals more leads. All right, here I gotta move this out of the way, or otherwise I'm not gonna be able to see everything. Okay, so who got new leads since last week? Please share about your success and how you did it. Who did 15 contacts in the past week, and did you add any bookings to your April calendar? How did any of you guys do on that this week?
I did good at reaching out to people and trying to follow up. I'm still following up with some other ones, but I think so far just the reaching out to people is as far as it's gotten.
Okay.
I have one potential booking.
Yay. Yay. And how about you, Shannon?
I did get one more booking and a vendor event. The one booking is in May and the vendor event is in June, but I got a couple other potentials out there that I got to contact this week yet.
Okay, awesome. Just keep plugging along. So like we've talked about, it's important to do enough shows to get in front of enough people, live or virtually, to be able to share the business opportunity. So you can add new team members. So if you're doing a show, wouldn't it be better to have 25 people there instead of 3? It's kind of like how we like to talk about it. So let's, and the other thing too is that if you guys haven't tried, I know like Ashley, you just kind of did that because you're just getting back into the game again. But Shannon, if you haven't tried doing like hold on a second, my daughter's showing me something. What is it?
I don't know.
Oh, I just saw them. Let me see what it looks like when you get out of the tub, when I can see it in the better light. She's got like a weird rashy thing. The one thing too is like, hi Sarah Warfel.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon if you haven't done some kind of like a spring premiere, or like I'm calling mine like spring into the season, like virtual party, go ahead and give one of those a try, and just invite, like even just do it. Like if you have a VIP page, do it on your VIP page and you might get some leads that way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you haven't done one of those, it's kind of good to do those every season. And sometimes too, even people like to have, kind of like almost like an open house to premiere the products. Sarah Warfel, you do that quite a bit, don't you? Usually at the end of the season, you usually have like a mystery host show at your house, don't you?
Yes, I do it at the end of February and the end of August, where it's a last chance summer dance last
chance first glance or something like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, so let me go to the next slide here. Okay, why is it not working? There we go. So, are you tracking contacts? So, just a reminder, you don't want little slips of paper all over your house and not be able to find the contact info for potential hosts or potential recruits. What's working best for you? Did anybody get a chance to watch that video I posted from Stephanie Richardson about her 25 contacts notebook?
I didn't even see that, so no.
Okay, it's on the Director Bound page. I posted it. It would have been after Lori's, after the first week. So it would have been the 17th, March. I think that was March 7th. I think it was St. Patrick's Day. So look on there. If for some reason you can't find it, Shannon, I know it's there, but if for some reason you can't find it, let me know and I can pass it along to you, okay?
I did start a 30-ring binder with host and consultant contacts, which seems to be working all right. So
Good, good. So her method is like a notebook that you try to make 25 contacts in a week. So this one is telling you on the slide here, it's telling you like 15 because they're going from the 3-2-1 scenario, doing 3 calls or 3 contacts 5 days a week, 5 of the 7 days of the week. So hers is 25, and that just gives you an extra 10 contacts. That's, again, getting you in front of more people, or contacting more people. So I won't tell you that I do it always faithfully, but I'm telling you when I do it, it's amazing the results you get from it when I'm really on top of it and I'm doing that system really well. So it works really good for Stephanie. So if you haven't watched it, that's a great thing to do. So did anybody do 3-2-1, or did anybody have any recruits this month? Or did anybody have any 2 shows this week? No?
Shannon, speak up.
Sorry, I had a mouthful.
Oh.
I have 1 recruit.
What? Woo, 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 woo. That's awesome. Did they do the $39 kit?
No, she went full board.
Awesome. Almost. I had kind of half and half with my people this month.
Cool.
Some got a bigger kit, some didn't. So that's kind of cool. So 2 shows a week, 3 contacts a day, 2 shows per week, 1 recruit a month. So that's pretty much going to give you like 8 shows a month. That's going to give you anything you want in this business when you're consistent like that. And it is totally the truth. And you're speaking with Sarah and I that have 18 and 20 some years of business, or of 25 some, right? You're Sarah? So
23.
23 years of experience. So it is true. If you do 8 shows a month, no matter what, you'll get anything you want in this business. Totally agree with that statement.
Yep.
So that means 3 contacts per day, doing 2 shows a week, and signing 1 new consultant per month. So that is something to really strive for. And if you are in a big growth mode and want to try to promote to director, that is one of those things that you need to really be striving for, is getting that show schedule built up to 2 shows a week. They do not have to be all live cooking shows. You can do, and it doesn't even have to be 2 shows per week, as long as you're doing 8 in a month, virtually or in home. I have my really good friend, Rachel Hansen in Sun Prairie, who's now just promoted a couple months ago to executive director. Rachel's husband travels quite a bit. And when I mean travel, I mean like to Japan. It's not like he's just in Chicago for the week. He's in Japan. So she doesn't get to see him sometimes quite a lot. So what she would do is she would do 1 cooking show, and then she would take 1 weekend and do 2 shows on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. So there'd be 4 shows right there. Then she wouldn't do anything the next week. And then the next week after that, she would do 1 weeknight cooking show and then 2 shows on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. So then she wasn't spending every weekend away from her husband. So you find a schedule that works for you and go for it. And always remember that you're in control of your calendar. So you just give people dates. You say, I have this date and this date open. They don't need to know that you only do shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You know what I mean? You can just tell them dates. All right. Okay, so who had a chance to listen to the homework recording, make it a network, and what was a big takeaway from it? Anybody?
I was able to listen to it.
Okay, what'd you get out of it, Ash?
A lot of the reiteration that it's the relationship building business, and you want to make sure when you're making connections that you're making it about them instead of what you can get out of it. You want to make it what they can get out of it.
Okay. Shannon, did you get a chance to listen to it?
I did. My big takeaway was find common ground and pay a sincere compliment before trying to make that that party sale or that direct, consultant sale.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And be present in all conversations, because I have a tendency to be that person that's sitting there talking to you and then trying to figure out what to say next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I come
Yeah.
to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Can I come to the bathroom?
Let me see here. Sorry, my son's talking. I was just trying to, okay. That's a good thing to
One
think
of the
about.
things,
Oh, go ahead.
one of the things, and I was on mute because my darling husband's doing some dishes, and he'll wait for a second while I say this, and then I can mute it again.
Hi,
Hello.
But I totally get what you are saying, Shannon. And one of the things I do is I try to force myself to keep a notebook open and be writing down things that a person is saying so that I'm able to validate, if something they say later on or that I'm trying to stress, then I can validate, Shannon, you were saying how, it's important that you have time to spend with your husband or whatever.
Good. Yep. I like that.
It helps me listen better is what I'm trying to say.
Good idea.
Awesome. Okay, let's go. Hold on a second. Sorry, what? Good. I'm glad. Oh my God, I'm sorry. My mom had a 30% off at Kohl's today, and we're going to, we're leaving for Hawaii in 2 weeks, and the kids needed a few things, and so he was just reinforcing that I did a good job on getting them some things today at the store. Not the right time, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next slide. So do this.
Kelly.
Oh, yes.
We're the pampered chef, not the perfect chef. This is why we do what we do.
I know, but seriously, he's 17, for God's sakes.
No, Kelly.
I know.
He's important. He's excited.
He is. He's excited. He's so excited.
It's good.
He is so excited. Okay, so you're at a cooking show and you get a booking during your full service checkout. It's important to spend a couple of minutes looking or locking in that booking and getting your host excited. So here are some things that you should say and ask your new host that just booked the show. So ask your host stuff like this, kind of like what we were just talking about. Like, make sure that you kind of know what's going on with your host. What did you love about the party tonight? What products are you most excited about? What's at the top of your wish list? Send me your guest list within the 48 hours. Give ideas on who to invite. You can kind of even do like, think about those names that come up in our Frank's list or even our launch list. If you go back to your Recipe for Success workbook, friends, relatives, Christmas card list, digital contacts, all those people. Kind of give them those kinds of ideas and tell them to think out of the box. Personal invitation is crucial. So give them words on how to invite people personally. There's so many ways to invite people these days. We don't want to just go with one way, whether it's a Facebook event or postcards, a text invite. You want to tell them do it lots of different ways. What's the best way for me to contact you? That one is huge because you do not need to be blowing up somebody's phone and leaving voicemails for somebody that's not going to respond to them. Especially if you have a younger host, they're more into texting or Facebook Messenger, that kind of stuff. So I always ask my potential bookings or my hosts that have booked, ask them, what is the best way for me to contact with you? Should we text each other? Should I Facebook message you? And personally for me, nowadays, I'd rather do that too. I can do it at my leisure and they can respond at their leisure. So just, make sure that that's important. That's an important thing to know. When can we talk tomorrow to plan our party or some kind of a thing, or sometimes I'm booking out like a month in advance. So sometimes I'll be like, I will talk to you about a month before your party or blah, 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 blah. And okay. Words that work. Here are some words that work in talking with your newly booked host. So Karen, I'm so excited about your party on April 21st. So tell me, what did you enjoy most about the party? Then let them respond. Great. What products are you most excited about getting? Blah, blah, blah. You'll love those Our goal is to have 15 guests at your party. So the most important thing you can do is call your guests right away tomorrow morning or when you get home from work. Remember, only about a third of people that will call that you call will be able to come. So you'll want to reach out to 40 people. How does that sound? Or I'll even say something like, for about every 10 people you invite, only 3 of those people are going to be able to come. So you want to invite more so then you end up with a good number of people at your party. That's gonna get you a great show, or even sometimes I use the words that's gonna get you closer to $1,000 show. That's what I use in my host coaching. Okay. Oops. Sorry. My mother-in-law calling. It's common for a host to say, but I don't know 40 people. So what can you do to get her on the right track? You can help her brainstorm. You may need to do this in your 24-hour follow-up call. Some ways to help her come up with this list are doing 40 guests in 4 minutes, which has categories much like our launch list, like I just told you, in my Recipe for Success that came in your new consultant kit. Or actually, it does not any longer come in your new consultant kit for Shannon that has a new recruit. They have to print it off or you have to print that for them. I am not happy about that. So we've expressed that to home office. Also tell your host, it's not just who you know, but who your friends know that can make your party a success. I've given a small gift when guests bring an adult friend to the show. Something like a Season's Best cookbook or toaster tongs, citrus peeler, something like that. I've also used a host scavenger hunt, much like the 40 guests in 4 minutes, but it has a long list of possible people to invite, which helps to target guests I'm looking for, like potential recruits, potential hosts, people who live in certain areas of towns where I'd like to have shows. I'll attach this document to our Director Bound Facebook page, so I'll put that out there later. There are also several versions of host tic-tac-toes that you'll see on some Facebook groups. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I've seen some like that in virtual Facebook groups too, so I've seen them too. So I will show you a couple of these in the next couple of slides. So this is host tic-tac-toe, is the one that's from our top seller, Katie I can never say her name right, Hostetler. I think she was #1 in the company last year and the year before. Does that sound right, Sarah Warfel? I think she was.
I don't know. I know last year for sure.
Yeah, I think she was the last couple years, I believe. Notice she has the free space at the top instead of the usual placement in the middle. She did this for an important reason. You want to make sure that all hosts have 2 bookings and 15 buying guests at the party. Placement in the middle space gives the host lots of opportunities to fill in a row. So I wouldn't alter it. I would leave it just like that. Since no box can be used more than once, the maximum you'll give your host is an additional $30 of free product. And it won't cost you that much since you'll have a host discount and your commission to offset the cost. Does that make sense when I say it that way?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Or not. Well, I guess I can't see you, Shannon, right now, so.
I don't know why. I don't know why my thing isn't working.
Did you do the bottom left-hand corner, hit start video?
I didn't have to do that the last couple of times.
Who knows? I'm telling you, Zoom is weird that way.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide. So host tic-tac-toe, here's another one. Here's a tweak on Katie's tic-tac-toe, where hosts that sign up as a new consultant automatically get $30 more for free. This one's pretty slick too. It would be way worth that a small amount to get an awesome new recruit, right? That would be awesome. Here are some ideas for a host scavenger hunt. I'll also attach a Word document on the page for this as well. Look at how it would help your business. If your host has a baker's dozen, which is 13 of these categories coming to your show, how cool would that be? you know, go through and kind of give them like a, you know, this really makes them think out of the box and think about people, you know, that maybe they would not have put on their initial list if they wouldn't have been taught to think out of the box with this. So I will post this as well. It's just like a Word document. It's nothing fancy. I might be able to save this slide as like a picture and then print it. We could print it too, because this is cuter than it's just a Word doc. So it's nothing too fancy. Okay, so more words that work. The first thing you want to tell your guests is exactly what exactly what you just told me. Let them know what you enjoyed about the party and that they've got to see the blank and blank items she wants for free, the quick cooker and the grill pan. Tell them what you love about those items. So give your host words to use to invite guests too. I love for them to talk me up and say, you've got to come and see this consultant. She does a great show. Okay. Whoops. Sarah's getting a phone call.
Sorry.
That's okay. I just had the same thing happen. Hosts need to invite guests in several different ways, or do what I call layering the invitations, which I just was talking about. Some people answer their phones, but many do not if they don't recognize the number coming through. And some people prefer texts or Facebook messages. And how much fun is it to receive a regular snail mail that's not junk mail or bills? So tell hosts they need to invite guests in multiple ways. Call them first. If they don't answer, leave a fun message and then text or an email message to them. Tell them you left a voice message. A lot of hosts set up a Facebook event, but if it's the only way you invite guests, it's almost the kiss of death for your show. You cannot just do a Facebook event. You have to make that incredibly clear to a host that only 1% of people read their Facebook invites. So that's really important. And the number one most responded way to invite these days that's responded to is a text invite. So Pampered Chef did a great thing by using the link, the host, so text the link to their party to your host, then she can click on the link and she's then able to share the invite from there as a text, as an email. There's different ways she can share, but she has to open it up from her phone, okay? Or he. I shouldn't just be saying women. For mailed invitations, you can use postcard invitations that come in the starter kit. I like sending out the current mini catalog. I only do that for the first month of the season though. I place a 1/3, oh wait, I don't do that. I just put it in an envelope or I, get envelopes for them to put them in. Blah, blah, blah. Some people use Red Stamp. They make a cute little thing on Red Stamp. You can also set up pretty and fun invitations for your hosts, like save the dates on Red Stamp that they can email, text, or post on Facebook. I do some of that kind of stuff even just in Pic Collage or Monkey Pics, I think is another one. Doing all these things sets you and your host up for the best possible outcome for your show. I just think that now that we've been given the capability to be able to do text invites from our link, why not do it from what Pampered Chef is giving us? Work harder or work smarter, not harder. They've already got it set up for you that way. Just take the time to learn it yourself so then you can transfer that onto your host, okay? So here's an example of, on the right side is a Red Stamp invite, and on the left side is a screenshot of what I do. I text this to my host so then my hosts know kind of what it looks like, okay? So I just screenshotted an invite from somebody, and then it gives them the different options to text message, Facebook, email, or copy the link to the show. And I just made it in Pic Collage, and then I just send that in as part of my host coaching, okay? So you can just do something like that. Okay. Get guest lists from the host. Now, Sarah, do you still do this? Do you mail out your invitations?
I do.
Okay. And I do not. So this is not really me talking. But Sarah, you can talk about how you feel about that as well. I know a lot of people feel that they have a lot of control over their guest list then.
Well, the biggest thing, Kelly, is that I know if somebody is getting an invite, you know, if they're going to supposedly send out an invite, I don't know what they've sent out. If they send me only 10 addresses, I'll be like, you do realize exactly what you said, Kelly. I want you to invite a number of different ways. So even if you invited these people through a text or through a phone call or through Facebook, I don't mind inviting them with a mini catalog. And I find a lot of people come with the mini catalog to the show with pages folded over, things circled, the whole bit. So, you know, and at least I know if they send me no addresses, that then I have to then I have to persuade them to see to it. You know, I get that you didn't want me to send something out, but you have to invite more than one way.
Okay. Yep. I mean, in my experience with it, girls, this is just, I tried it for like 6 months. I felt like my show average didn't really increase and attendance didn't increase that much. So I chose not to do it. I have a very, I wouldn't say detailed, but a very systematic host coaching system that I do that works really well for me. And I get a lot of orders coming in outside before the party, stuff like that. So I choose so much not to do this, but it is something that is it's a good thing to do. A lot of people swear by you, the host, sending you a list and getting it back, you know, like trying to get it back from them within 48 hours. And then you, like some of the ways that you can do it is that you can send them like a template for like labels, or some people will have them do it in like a spreadsheet format. And then they can send it back to you as a spreadsheet, and then it'll get entered into the label making system in Word easier. There is a company that a lot of consultants use out there called Margo, and Margo is a program or a site that you pay for, kind of like how we pay for CintShare for posting our parties. Margo like sets up your parties for you and mails invites for you and reminders and stuff like that. So there's a lot of people that swear by this. I know Amy Schramm down over in the Milwaukee area swears by Margo. So she attributes it to her high show average. So that's something.
The short of it is if something you have is working for you, don't change it. You know.
And that's exactly why I do it my way and it works for me. Right. And Sarah does it her way and it works for her. So don't, you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yep, exactly.
We all have to find our own systems and ways to do things. And that's why, you know, we're constantly learning from each other. Okay. All right. Blah, 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 blah. It's a good idea to share with your host why it's important to send a guest list quickly. We know that mailing out invitations result in a better show, including more people attending, bigger orders, more people who bring a guest, outside orders from those who can't attend, and more. Think about how excited guests will be when they see our newest mini catalog and our newest products. And like Sarah just confirmed to you, she has a lot of people that bring those. And when I use the mini catalogs too, I'll have that too, where people will bring that with them. They already kind of have their list started, and I love that because then I'm just going to sell more stuff to them when they're there. So I love it when those people come to my shows and say, oh, I already know what I want. And then like 10 more things later, they're like, dang you.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
You know, I had a lady yell at me on Saturday. She's like, I was not spending $100 today. And I'm like, Suzette, you do not have to spend $100. You can host a show. But it was funny. We got a chuckle out of it. Blah, blah, blah. Now I just lost where I was at. So it's a great idea to personally thank your new host quickly, like the next morning, by placing a personal call to thank her or to mail a handwritten note. Remember, we are in the relationship business. Make your host feel important and she will be less likely to cancel. And you might want to include a letter in your host packs that tell your hosts that while your business looks fun and is fun, your show helps pay your monthly expenses. So a canceled show means a night that you're not able to work. So who here has seen Lisa Noto's guilt letters? Okay, she did it on Coffee Talk a couple weeks back, which I have seen it before. It might be in our 6 Weeks to Success program, Sarah. Did we see that for guilt letters?
If we did, I missed that week and didn't watch it, but you're right. I think it is in the 6 weeks.
Shannon, did you do 6 weeks? Did you do 6 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Did you remember seeing her letters? I'm trying to look at one because I know it was just in there.
Yes.
So hers says, just a quick note.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing it? I'll post a picture of it again so you guys can see it. Just a quick note to pay a big thank you for booking with me in the new year. This was like at the beginning of the year or whatever. The best way I can show my appreciation is to partner with you and provide tips other successful past hosts swear by. I want you to, here, I have to bring it, make it bigger because she has it like in her own handwriting. It's not, that's the other big thing, that she makes it in her own handwriting. She does it with a black Sharpie pen and copies it. And then she can sign it with the black Sharpie so that it doesn't look like it's, that, like it's written the way. And I know Amy Trans has one like that too, and she does it in like a blue pen and does it a certain way. I'm thrilled with the end result and earn so much for free that you'll need another kitchen. I also wanted to tell you that your show, and she underlines it, will be qualifying my family towards our next incentive trip to Disney World. How cool are you? I'm looking forward to our get together, for our time together. I'll be in touch soon. All the best, Lisa Noto. And then it says, I hope you enjoy the recipe I included. So then she sticks in a recipe and makes this nice little handwritten note and makes them feel like, I can't cancel that show because it's going to help her earn her trip to Disney World. So it's, I love it. It's really cute. So I love that one. I'll post it so you guys can see it, okay? Remember to send the guest list. It's a great idea to personally thank our new host quickly. Oh, wait, shoot. Sorry. Refresh your host memory about the guest list that you need, and here are the words to say. So if you are going to go that route, this is what you'll want to do. Remember, the most important thing for you to do right now is to create your guest list. I'd love to have you that back in the next 48 hours. So I can send a mini catalog to everyone on your list. This helps get orders from those who can't come.
And you know what, Kelly, even if you're encouraging them to call people, you're encouraging them to invite on Facebook, you're encouraging them to text people, you can say the exact same thing.
Yep, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Or, here's the link to the party. Even when I have an invite on Facebook and I do have good responses from it, if somebody says, I can't make it, we have a birthday party, I'll go in. Thanks for letting us know. Here's the link if you want to order. Even though it's in the event description, I will message every single person with that link and to hopefully we'll get some more orders from it. And then I will always, the day before the party, I will post in my event that if they bring a guest, they'll get a gift from me. So especially for those people that only have like maybe 5 or 6 people coming, have them bring a guest and you're going to be up to 10 to 12 people. So
Kelly,
you can give away some citrus peelers for that.
Kelly, are you doing events or groups?
I do events when it's a cooking show.
Okay. Yeah. And I see to it that every single yes and every single maybe on the show, I send a little message. Yep. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Let me know if there's anything you want to be sure I bring so you can get your hands on it and play with it.
Yep.
Can't wait to see you. Please bring a friend. Remember, I give a present to anybody who does. And then to the maybes, I'm saying, if anything has changed, and there's a chance you can come. I'd love to have you come. Let me know if there's anything you want to see, and be sure to bring a guest with you. I give presents. So
Right. Yep.
I do that in private message.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you can do that right from the invites to
Yeah.
it. It'll let you, it'll say message guests and click on that. So remind your host of the goal to invite at least 40 and to get at least 15 there. I know that once you start calling to personally invite your guests and they hear how excited you are about your party, you'll have great attendance. Our goal is to have at least 15 guests, which means you need to reach out to at least 40 people. So I talk about that in my host coaching too. And I also talk about, you know, if they're hearing from people that they can't come, you know, try to get outside orders. And then I reward my hosts for every $150 in outside orders they get before I get there, they get a rub of their choice. And that's unlimited. So my host from Friday night had $300 in sales before I even got to her house. And so she got to pick out 2 rubs of her choice that I will just add on to her order. Okay. So that's part of my, that's in part of my host coaching. All right. Offer an extra incentive, like I just said. There's other things too, like if you get a booking for me before your show. I do, if you get 2 bookings for me before we start the party, then I will give you an extra $10 at their shows and free product. Okay. So don't forget the opportunity. Go ahead, what?
Shows, if she gets 2 bookings, do you give 10?
I lost you, Shannon. She froze up. Sarah, are you froze? Oh no, you're there. You go.
I couldn't hear her either. She froze up for me too. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can now.
Okay, so if you get 2 bookings before the show, do you give the $10 to each show or just the last show?
Nope, at each show.
Okay.
That's $10 is cheaper than having to give them a whipped cream maker or something. And then they can get what they want. And so I just take $10 off their order.
And is it off their current host order, or is it off the order?
Off the order at their friend's party.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I have that like in my host coaching sheet, like I have their names written down, like who booked before. So I might switch that up though. I've been pondering doing something different. There's been a lot of people that are doing like if they have 3 parties booked, then they'll give them like an everyday rock crock or something like, I don't know. There's a lot of different things out there. Or a casserole rock crock, excuse me, or like a stainless steel mixing bowl set when they have 3 shows booked and people are getting the bookings. So then it kind of makes you wonder, like maybe it isn't that bad to, you know, I know it's a $99 item, but you know, when you put it on a host order or you put in, you know, it's not that bad.
But you know, I think with something like that, especially if I was offering that value, I would wait until the 3rd.
Oh, you have to. Yes, it has to be in once the 3rd booking is done. Yeah. Auntie Perkins from Claire Dolger's team does that, and she has great success. She's an elite seller. She does really well with it. So I don't know. So I've pondered that a little bit, but then again, I'm kind of like, mine's not broken. Why should I fix it? You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Yep.
So I know that I mentioned this last night, but I have to say you've been on my mind. I think you'd be wonderful as a consultant with Pampered Chef, and it would be terrific to have you as part of our team. I'd love to get together with you for a cup of coffee and tell you a little bit about our business. I know you'll love what I hear, my gosh, I can't talk. I know you'll love that I think it's written wrong. I know you'll love what you hear. Okay. What do you think? Jeez. So we always offer the business opportunity to all hosts, cooking and virtual. You should be asking your hosts 5 times throughout the process. 5 times. Do you guys know that rule from Claudia Bazar? Have you heard it before? Okay. I'm going to post a picture of it if you've never seen it or if you haven't done it. It's a really good incentive. And that's part of my host coaching messages that I do. They get asked 5 times. Okay. Let me write that down. Claudia. All right. Effective host coaching with cooking shows. Here are some additional tips for host coaching for cooking shows. Be sure you talk with your hosts about attendance and your goal for how many will attend. Tell them the importance of getting outside orders from those who can attend. Have hosts tell guests to bring an adult friend who was not invited. You can offer a small gift like a season's best recipe booklet. Ask your host to invite people who may need extra money or might enjoy becoming a consultant. And don't forget to offer the opportunity to every host. You have to make sure you're doing that because obviously if they're having a party, they love Pampered Chef. So just, you don't know what the answer is going to be if you don't ask. So just always ask, okay? And I always say it to kind of make it seem like, because I know sometimes it's scary to have to ask. I always say, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't at least mention this to you. And they appreciate that when I say it that way. Then they're like, oh yeah, I don't think they take offense to it then. And really, I mean, if you're not interested, all you have to do is say no. I don't think anybody's really going to be offended if you ask anyway. Effective host coaching with virtual parties. For virtual parties, our goal is to make sure at least 30 people indicate that they're going to the party on Facebook, or you have 30 people added to the group. That means that about 15 or 20 will actually join in on the event. I actually tell people to invite 100, so 30 people join, so then we get 15 to 20 active, and hopefully like 10 to 15 of them will order. Also tell hosts to work on collecting outside orders from those who don't use Facebook or prefer to look at a catalog. It's a good idea to mail a host packet to virtual hosts. I always mail 2 catalogs to my virtual hosts. Tell guests to invite friends to events. Again, offer the business opportunity to every host. Many of them may be interested, and be sure to post about that. I also have a post in my virtual parties that says, if you're like me, you like to look at a catalog. So I get catalog requests. And I usually will get like 1 or 2 from every party. And I have packets up ready to go with a label already stuck on them. So all I have to do is write their name and address on it. And I also have them pre-postage. So in my little, I use those little cellophane packs from my girlfriend's house to mail my catalogs in. And then I have postage. We have one of those automated postage things. So I go and just print like 10 at a time. That it's $1.82 to mail 1 catalog. So I just go and mail them. I have them all printed so that I have the postage and ready to go. All I have to do is write the address down, and I can put them in the mail that day. So as soon as those pop up that somebody requests a catalog, I can do it. And I find that when I mail somebody a catalog, they almost always order on the virtual party. So I feel like it's worth it.
And you're putting those in those cute cellophane?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then like I said, I have the postage already pre-done. So I took it to the post office, had them weigh it for me, so I knew exactly how much it cost. I just have a bunch of them ready, and they're all ready to go whenever I need them. I can quickly send a catalog to somebody. Okay. All right. Everything's better with friends. Text with your host. I can't talk now. Should ask guests to invite friends to join the event. You can offer points or a small gift. I only give a gift if they invite guests who order on the party, but it's up to you.
You fast forwarded them. Oh.
No. Can you see? Everything's better with friends. Yeah. Okay. The chat with me about the opportunity is strategically placed in the middle. So they will pretty much have to do it if they want to get lots of tic-tac-toes. So this is another way. Chat with me about the business, collect. Yeah, that one's good too. So you can put that in a virtual party. So you don't have to just have it be a host thing. Or I should say host coaching for a virtual party. Here's an idea if you need bookings fast. Yes, it will cost you $15.50 less your commission, but you will be making at least $40 in that show, and hopefully it's going to get business going in a different direction with more bookings from that show. So, you know, my thing is, you know, I don't want you to have to spend money, but then, you know, if you're in a real bind though, something like this might work. So it's nothing that you can't not try, okay? And there's probably tons of images like this out there in some of those Facebook groups and stuff. Okay. Here's a picture of a post that you can post in your Hostess of the Mostest groups, or text or email to virtual hosts. So just a little bit about being excited and broadcasting it on Facebook and their participation in the party. Okay. I think that one's kind of hard to see myself, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of info. These slides are from another director. Here's a different one too. I think this one does look very professional though. So how to have an amazing Facebook party, and it kind of just puts you through the different things, the different steps for them. So this one, you know, this one is a nice one as well. If any of you guys want these pictures, just let me know, because I can pull them off the slide and send them to you too. So this is a great banner for Host Coaching Facebook groups. So some people use Host Coaching Facebook groups. Some people choose to put their hosts for the week into a group message, but you can call it your Hostess of the Mostest group. So a lot of people do their host coaching that way, so then they're not doing tons and tons of messaging with their hosts. If they've got 4 parties going, they put all 4 hosts in a group or in a group message and host coach them that way. And sometimes they'll even make it like a contest between the hosts, like who's going to get the first order, you know, and then they get those 4 hosts excited about things. Okay, this one helps to reinforce the importance of attendance. 30 or more clicking going, number of friends that are clicking going. So that one's another really good one too. Here, there are a couple different sets of posts on Facebook virtual groups that have host tips for each day. Usually there are 10 posts, so what works, you know, it depends on if you're running. Some people nowadays are running only like 3-day parties, so you just would have to kind of adjust and do that. But here's like a host tip of the day. Encourage each of your friends to book a party during the party. You know, getting them interacting and tagging their friends in posts, you know, that's the biggest thing. All of these tips are all about the interaction on the party to get to make sure that they're interacting on their party. When you're having a virtual party and your host is like a cricket in their own party, it's like you went to their house and they went back and sat in their bedroom while you did their cooking show. That's what it's like. So you need to really reinforce that with them, that they have to be present and active in their party and tag friends and comment, not just like posts, they need to be commenting on things. So here's a couple of different ones here. All right. So keep calm, because we are the best team ever. I like that post. So this week, we're going to do our call to action. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice what you'll say to hosts. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post my host coaching thing. Some people I do mine all through with Google Messages or Google Docs. And all I literally do is just cut and paste from my docs and post them into a Facebook message or a text message or an email. And it just works really well for me. I've been doing it for about 1.5 years now, and my $1,000 show average has just gone like wildfire since I started using it. So I swear by it. It's super simple and duplicatable to pass on to you guys. So I have it in my systems that I have for my team. So I'll post that as well so you can see how I do that. And I was a paper person always, and I still am a paper person with some things, but I really made a big goal to myself to try to get some of this stuff down with using like a Google Calendar. And so even my host coaching now, I have that I do, like I keep track of it in my Google Calendar when I need to send messages and stuff. So that's been really interesting how I learned that as well. I'll post that, and I will post, I feel like we might have posted this already, but did I post something about the Google Calendar with Stacy Itzel and Stephanie Richardson? Do you know if I did that, Sarah? No? Okay. I'll post how I learned how to do my Google Calendar too from them. Okay. Because that will keep you on track with your host coaching, especially as your show schedule gets bigger. It's like you got to keep on track with what you're doing because you'll get lost really easy. So practice what you'll say to hosts as soon as they book, and you'll be ready to roll. Make a 24-hour call, or they call it a Big Mac call. So the morning after call. So a Big Mac call. That's the morning after you get your booking to thank your host and set it in stone. Or I will post the Lisa Noto guilt letter in case you want to go that route. Make your 15 contacts a week outside of your parties, or do the 25 method by Stephanie Richardson with her notebook. And then try to do a power hour where you spend 1 hour on your business every day. You don't have to live when you don't have a live show, and focus on bookings and recruit leads. And then we're going to have you listen to Make It Impactful with Laura Anticall and Diana Feller. So I will post the link for that here in a little while. So keep your eye on the goal. We've got one person here that had a recruit this month, so I love that. So just keep up your momentum, keep asking those questions. Just remember it's a conversation. Just have a conversation with the person. Try not to make it such a big deal. So let's maintain razor sharp focus to move your business forward this week, and we will be celebrating your director promotion soon. Remember, it's very doable to promote during Director Bound. It is very doable. Thank you guys so much. Do you guys have any questions for me, or anything that you struggled with that you want to chat about quick? We got just a couple more minutes, and I want to make sure I'm respectful of your time. No?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop the recording here.